I'm in the new Mercedes-AMG C63 S. Now it's got a hand-built 4-litre twin-turbo V8 with 510 horsepower, and it's supposed to be able to do 0 to 60 in 4 seconds, so I'm going to find out if it really can. Got my specialist timing gear up here, got the car in its raciest settings. I'm just going to launch it. Oh, that's it, that was over like that. 0 to 60, 4 seconds dead. Let's see if it'll do it again. Yeah, let's have a look. Once again, 4 seconds dead. Right, let's do it one last time. Oh. That'll do it. I could do this all day long, actually. Actually, this time, it's done it in 3.9 seconds. This car is fast, but then I guess you knew that. Now, I don't know if you know, but we've got a refer a friend scheme. So if you click on the pop-out button in the top right-hand corner of the screen, you can see how you could earn a £50 Amazon gift card if you refer a friend to CarWow and they buy a car through us. Okay, then let's start this review by talking about this car's design. So the big change over the previous C63 is the new AMG grille. So instead of horizontal slats, you've got vertical ones, and it's just like that on the AMG GTR. But do you prefer this new grille? Click on the pop-out banner in the top right-hand corner of the screen to let me know if you prefer this one or the old one. Now, over the normal C-Class, you've got a deeper front bumper there, and it's slightly different in terms of its design to the old C63 AMG. It's got some slats here, for instance, to help the airflow into the radiators. There's also some new wheel designs as well. You can get them in 18-inch or 19-inch. These are the 19s, and they've been specifically designed in a wind tunnel to aid aerodynamics. This car's got the optional carbon ceramic brakes. It's also got the full multi-beam LED headlights, which is a nice touch. And being the C63, you've got slightly wider wheel arch than on the normal C-Class. And to let you know what's under the bonnet, of course, look, V8 bi-turbo on the front wings there. You've got some side skirts, and obviously the car sits low to the ground. This one, you might notice, has carbon wing mirrors because it's got a carbon pack on it. Obviously an upgrade. Moving to the rear of the car, some more carbon here with this little boot-lid spoiler. It's kind of discreet, but yeah, looks all right in carbon, doesn't it? And then the rear diffuser of this latest C63 is a bit different and deeper than on the previous generation, so it's a bit more noticeable, and you've got some slightly redesigned exhaust pipes as well. Inside, there's some notable changes over the previous C63. For instance, you now get this new AMG steering wheel, which is designed to be more grippy and nicer to hold, and yeah, it does feel pretty nice to hold. It also comes with controls for the infotainment system, which moves you onto the new larger central screen there, and a new digital driver's display, both of which are standard. With the digital driver's display, you can flick through various different modes, change the views, and there's lots of information that you can see there. It's very nice, I like it. I also like the fact that Mercedes has given these sports seats adjustable side bolsters, which help keep you in place when you're cornering quickly, which you will be trying to do in this car. Other than that though, yeah, it's pretty much like the previous C63 inside, which means that yeah, quality is good, and it's got quite a bit of style and attitude. Maybe not as classy as an Audi RS4's interior, but it's definitely more modern feeling than a BMW M3's. In terms of the pricing, well, Mercedes hasn't confirmed it yet, but the cars like to start from around £63,000 for the normal C63, rising to £73,000 for this C63 S version. But if you click on the pop-out button in the top right-hand corner of the screen, you can see how much you can save one of these cars, or any new car for that matter, at CarWow.
Now then, it's time for the CarWow 5 annoying things about this car.
On European versions of the C63 AMG, you can choose whether you want another USB port there for your mobile devices or a 12-volt socket. It's up to you. Not in the UK though, you can only ever have a 12-volt socket there. All the USB stuff is contained under the central armrest. Do you like this blue paint? Yeah, of course you do. Well, you have to pay extra for it. In fact, unless you want the car in polar white, you have to pay extra for any other colour paint scheme. This is a very expensive car, and yes, it's updated. However, the infotainment system that you get in it isn't actually the very latest one from Mercedes. So the one in the A-Class is actually better. Headroom is a little bit tight in the back of the Mercedes C-Class. So in this C63 version, taller people will end up kind of slamming their head back against there like that when you accelerate suddenly, and it give them a bit of a headache and will also mess up their hairstyles. Here with a left-hand drive car, the steering wheel is perfectly placed central to your body. But in the right-hand drive cars, the C-Class's steering wheel is slightly offset
to the left, so you can feel a bit twisted behind the wheel if you're British.
Thankfully, this car has plenty of cool features to help make up for all this. Here's 5.
Both versions of the C63 now come as standard with an electronically controlled limited slip differential, and that can actually decide how much power to send to each of the rear wheels for maximum corner exiting grip. Another thing that's standard on this car is adaptive suspension, and you can choose between a comfort mode, a sports mode, or a race mode. Unlike with a BMW or an Audi, you don't have to pay extra for a performance exhaust, and with it in its quiet mode, it sounds like this. Then at the press of a button, you can put it into sports mode, then it sounds like this. I think I prefer it like that, don't you? The C63 S comes with dynamic engine mounts, and they can either loosen or tighten their grip on the engine for either improved comfort or better balance. You can get this car with some new steering wheel mounted controls, and they're really cool. For instance, the one on the right I can use to choose the different driving modes from slippery, individual, comfort, sport, sport plus, and race. Now the one on the other side, I can cycle through different menus, and I can use it to toggle between the different exhaust settings, the suspension settings, and then move back if I want, turn off the stability control, and then when I do that, I can use this other dial to alter the intervention from the traction control. And if I want, I can have it all the way off for massive tail slides. Yeah, I know. I look like a complete plonker, don't I, with this helmet on, but it's the rules of this track, so you have to bear with me. Tell you what, it doesn't work well with this seat. I'm going to end up with this massive hunchback if I stay in this car too long like this, because I can't put my head back. So, out on this technical track, Bilsterberg, Germany. You know, this is a heavy car, but it does a good job around here. I am thankful of those carbon ceramic brakes, because there's lots of braking from high speed on this circuit. It's very technical. The steel brakes could run out of talent after a while. But yeah, this is pointy. It's fun. Now I've got the car with its systems in race. I also have the stability control in sport handling, so it gives me a bit of slip, but it's there to gather me up if I get things badly wrong. What I can do though is put it off by pressing the button down here. Now it's off. Now what I can do though is turn a dial to alter the amount of traction control I have from quite a lot to not at all. And I'm probably going to go for no help at all. We'll see what happens. Hopefully it's not all going to go badly wrong for me. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. This is quite a good call. Now let's try this. Whoa! Whoa! Yes! Oh yeah, this guy's an absolute beast, as you'd expect from an AMG. You know, nothing's changed there. Fact is though, right, no one's going to be driving their car like this. You know, this is a treat for journalists, and we spend so much time on track and going on how great cars are because we've driven them on track, and we get to burn through tyres without having to pay for them. And it's not a realistic idea of what the car's like, so yeah. They're going to lose his helmet, lose the track, and get out on the road. All right, and so this is more like it. I can finally do a realistic test of this car, because being on track sort of hides its performance a bit. Obviously, you've got no speed limit, and there's runoff if you get things wrong, whereas here, yeah, there's no runoff, just trees, there's other road users, and of course if I go too quickly I could end up in prison. So I've got all this car settings kind of dialed back so the suspension is softer, though it always still feels a little bit on the firm side. Then the gearbox, it's in its automatic mode. Speaking of which, it's actually a new 9-speed automatic gearbox, and Mercedes says it can shift gears faster than the old 7-speed in the previous C63, and yes, it seems to shift gears pretty quickly. It still has a wet clutch rather than a normal torque converter, so it can do all that kind of launch control stuff like I showed you earlier. It feels more relaxed now I've dialed it back, but still, you know this is a beast of a car. You can always hear the engine rumbling away. Like I say, you can feel the suspension is a little bit on the firm side. Alcantara on the steering wheel reminds you this is a sporty vehicle, as does the rather firm sport seats. With an Audi RS4, you can just drive it along and forget you're in a performance car. It's just like any other A4 until you put your foot down, then it comes alive. Whereas this,
it never fully relaxes. You can always tell it's ready to pounce. I mean, that's just the AMG way. You can actually compare this car and its rivals to the big cats. So the BMW M3 would be like a cheetah, you know, it's the lightest, it's the most agile. The Audi RS4, it would be a leopard. It's the stealthiest, and of course, it's got that extra grip, so you know, you could climb trees. This though, this is quite clearly a lion, because it's the most powerful and it's got the loudest roar. In fact, I'll tell you what, the reason to have this car alone is for that awesome V8 engine. It's still the car's standout feature. Hey guys, how would you like an Amazon gift card worth £50? Yeah, like that. Well, if you know of anyone who's looking to buy a new car, click on the refer a friend box just over there or on the link below the video to refer them to carwow.com. Now, if they buy a car through us, they can save over £3,500 and you'll get the gift card. It's easy.